Good morning, everybody. I hope you're doing well. This morning we're going to do a special thing called Cooking with David and Mr. Steve. I'm Mr. Steve. This is David. We're here to do some cooking for you today. First of all, we need to get our ingredients out. We're going to need some cinnamon. We're going to need some sugar. We need a bowl. And, oh, I need to get the butter. Hang on, David. Let me get the butter out. Oh, here's the butter. We have the butter. Fantastic. Cinnamon, sugar, butter, and we're going to need some either refrigerator biscuits or some refrigerator crescent rolls. I went ahead and took mine out of the pack because I did a test to be sure this would work. But if yours are in the pack, you can go ahead and open them up. While we, David, thank you. David's absolutely right. We're also going to need what, David? What are these?
Marshmallows.
Marshmallows. Fantastic. Today we're going to be doing a very special cooking project to try and help us learn a little something about the Bible. Kind of cool that we're going to combine these two things. First thing we're going to do is we're going to preheat our oven according to the package of your thing. And so we're going to get ours going to preheat while we're going. And ours is preheating to 350 degrees. Yours may preheat to different things depending on the product that you're using. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get a little bit of butter. And we're going to cut it. So on the outside edge of your butter, and please work with Mom and Dad on this, on the outside edge of the butter, there are tablespoon markers. So we're going to cut a few tablespoons. Will you hold this bowl, please? We're going to cut a few tablespoons of butter, and then we're going to put it, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 tablespoons of butter, and I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to put it into our bowl, okay? And then, in addition to that, I'm going to take some cinnamon, and I'm going to put some cinnamon into the bowl with the butter, okay? So that we're going to fill it up with cinnamon and butter. And go ahead and use a lot of cinnamon because cinnamon is delicious. And then after we do that, we're going to do a little bit more. And then we're going to put some sugar in there. A little sprinkle of sugar. I'll go ahead and do another sprinkle of sugar. So about a whole tablespoon of sugar. Probably about 2 teaspoons of cinnamon and about 3 tablespoons of butter should get you done. We're going to pop this in the microwave. Dave, how long do you think we should microwave this just to get it melty?
About 30 seconds.
Let's try 30 seconds. We're going to try 30 seconds, and while we're getting that going, we are going to get, go ahead and push start.
Probably about...
Go ahead and push start. Good. So our microwave is going real quick, and while that's going, we're going to start preparing our muffin pan. So David, I'm going to get you to take some Crisco, or you can use butter, either way. And we're going to take a paper towel, and I know these are valuable. Use a napkin or whatever you'd like, or a rag in the kitchen. And we're going to smear some Crisco on this, and then David, will you smear this in 1, 2, 3, 4? Actually, you go straight up the middle with 4. So we've got 4 biscuits left in our pack. If you have crescent rolls, they probably come in 5 or 6. If it's biscuit, if it's a big tube, it could be 6 or 7. Who knows? Just however many you're going to do, you're going to take your cupcake pan and you're going to wipe some grease or some butter into that cupcake pan because you don't want anything to stick. I'm going to check on our butter mixture while David is oh, that's really good work, buddy. While David is prepping our cupcake pan. Oh boy, that is nice and hot and melty. Be sure and use a towel when you pull it out because the whole thing might be hot. So I've got our butter mixture out, and here we are. Now I'll show you in the camera. Everything is nice and melted in there. I doubt you can see it, but maybe you can. And we have our butter mixture nicely melted with cinnamon and sugar. And I'm going to take a little spoon. Be careful, David, that's hot. David, will you stir this up a little bit? So stir that around. And what we're going to do is, we're going to grab out one of our biscuits or one of our crescent roll items, and we're going to stretch it out a little bit. See what I'm doing here? Taking my biscuit, it was kind of small, I'm stretching it out. And we are going to put it on a plate. Boom. And David has our mixture nicely mixed, and we're going to grab out one. I used the Jet Puff marshmallows, and we're going to, David, will you take this? Ooh, I think we can do it and get a little dirty. We're going to take this marshmallow, We're going to dunk it in our cinnamon, sugar, and butter mixture until we've got a nice coating, and the mixture is warm, so be careful when you're doing it so it gets nicely coated. And we're going to put that right in the middle of our biscuit. Now David is going to copycat what I just did with his biscuit. So stretch it out. Good. And I'm going to go ahead and do another one while David's working on that one. I'm going to stretch these out. It's in his flat. That's really good. Stretching mine out. And here we go. Dave, how's yours looking? You pull it out. Okay. Okay, I've got mine nicely stretched out. Okay, my biscuit dough. And I'm going to put that on the plate. And I'm going to grab another marshmallow, roll it around in the cinnamon, butter, and sugar mixture that we microwaved. And I'm going to plop it in the middle of my biscuit. Dave, that's looking good, bud. Let's keep stretching it out. Oh, buddy, that looks really good. Now, will you dunk a marshmallow for me? And then put it right in the middle. While Dave's getting that one ready, I'm going to go ahead and prep our last one. We've only got 4. If you've got 5 and it's taking you a little longer, feel free to pause the video until you're done. And here, I'll show you the way it's going to look when these are all set up. Hang on one second. So, hey, Dave, grab me out a marshmallow, buddy. All right. David, will you dunk it, please? And we're going to plunk this right into the middle.
Try not to get your fingers inside the mixture because it could hurt your fingers.
It's a little
so
warm.
hot.
It's not going to hurt you, but it definitely will feel a little uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so go wash your hands, please, Assistant Dave. Now then, we are going to look. I'll show you the way ours are looking right now. We've got all of our biscuits with our marshmallows right in the middle. Okay? Now then, I'm going to wash my hands too. And dry them off on that towel right there next to our thing. Save the environment one towel at a time. And we are going to take these and we are going to slowly cover them up. So, David, if you want to copycat me, we're going to fold and pinch up at the top. Okay? And fold and pinch up at the top. And fold and pinch and fold and pinch. Now we've got a nice little circle that we've made, a ball that we've made. And up in there, it's no big deal. Okay? So you see, we've got a nice little circle here that we've got. And the edges are just all kind of pinched together. And the tighter you can get those edges, the better it's going to turn out. Okay, so you got a little ball. And you can see our marshmallow poking up at the top. See it? It's nice. Okay. We're going to get all 4 balls ready. When you get done, Dave, will you take it over to the camera and show? So here's our marshmallow. Good job, Dave. And I'm bringing the edges up and bringing the edges up, and I'm pinching and rolling over and pinching and pinching and rolling over and pinching. And it makes this nice little ball with a marshmallow tower in the top. Okay? And we'll do our last one. Let's do it together. We'll pinch it up. That's nice. And if it falls over to the side, that's fine too. We'll try it both ways. And we're pinching it together. And we've got a nice little marshmallow ball for our last one. Okay? Now, after we've got our marshmallow ball, we're going to go back to our cinnamon, sugar, butter mixture. And we're going to dip the top in cinnamon, sugar, and butter. And we're going to hold down at the pinched end and do a dip. And that's going to be our top end of our creation. It's all right, the bottom part's all pinched together, so just grab from where the pinched parts are. And you'll see that we get a nice little coating of butter and cinnamon and sugar. Nice, Dave, that's beautiful. And then, if we want to, we can take a little bit of sugar out of our sugar bowl, and we'll sprinkle some on the top. And we'll sprinkle some on the top. And we're doing this over a plate because there's no way that we're not going to miss a little bit.
Unless you were a Mr. Perfect.
And are we Mr. Perfect?
Nope.
No, the only Mr. Perfect who ever was lived 2,000 years ago, and his name was Jesus. Okay, so we're going to put a little bit of cinnamon on top too. So now we have our little wrapped up balls of cinnamon, sugar, biscuit, or crescent rolls with a marshmallow trapped inside. Now, David has greased, and going back over them one more time just to be sure, he's greased our cupcake pan. So we've gone right down the middle with our cupcake pan. And we're going to put each of these four right in the middle of our cupcake pan.
Cinnamon side up.
Cinnamon side up. Very good, David. And our oven is already preheated because I preheated it earlier. And so we're going to pop these into our preheated oven for the baking directions that are set. We're going to pop this in, close them up. Good job. And let's set a timer over here for our cooking time. And we're going to need about 12 minutes to make those work. And we'll check them in about 10 just to be sure that they're not getting overly done. While we're doing that, it's a perfect time to share a Bible story with you all. So, this comes out of the Spark Story Bible. And it's all about the Easter story when the ladies who came to prepare Jesus' body for burial the second time wanted to come and visit his tomb. So what happened was, when Jesus died on Good Friday, the sun was setting, and the Sabbath starts right after the sun sets. And so, as the sun was setting, no one was allowed to do work on the Sabbath. So no one was allowed to properly prepare Jesus' body for burial. So they quickly put his body into a tomb that was cut for him. They laid it out on the tomb table. They rolled a huge stone in front of the tomb door, and they left. And then the next day was the Sabbath. So everyone rested and did the things according to Jewish tradition they always did on the Sabbath. They spent time together as a family. They talked about God. They spent the day at rest. And then on Easter Sunday morning, the morning of the third day after he was killed, the women went back to the tomb, and they were going to help get the guards to push the stone away, and then they were going to prepare his body for proper burial. They were going to wrap it up in cloths. They were going to put ointment and spices all over the body. And so that's where we're picking up this story. So, it was early in the morning on the third day after Jesus had died. The sky was pink and red with the first light of the sun. The women didn't notice the sky because they were in a hurry to the cave that contained Jesus' body. Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of James, led the way. Two others, Salome and Joanna, carried the spices to rub over the body of Jesus. They had a job to do. So you can see the women heading to the tomb. When they arrived at the tomb of Jesus, they froze and said, "Uh-oh, what are we going to do? How are we going to get that big, huge stone out of the way?" But the women kept going into the cave anyway, and as they came closer, they could see that the stone had already been rolled away. They peeked inside, and it was dark in there and cold, and there was a drip of damp from inside. When they peeked deeper inside the tomb, they noticed that Jesus' body was gone. The tomb was empty. An angel appeared in sparkling white clothes, and the glow from the angel brightened the inside of the darkened cave. The women shielded their eyes from the blinding light, and the angel said, "Don't be afraid. Jesus isn't here. This is a place for the dead." The reason why Jesus isn't here is because he is alive. "Hurry," said the angel, "go and tell the disciples." So the women did not delay. They ran to tell Jesus' friends all that they had seen and heard that morning. There they are, peering into the open cavern of the empty tomb, and they look inside and see nothing. As they were running to tell Jesus' other disciples, Mary bumped into a man and fell at his feet. Wait, she knew those feet. A familiar hand reached down to help her up. Wait, she knew that hand. She looked up and she knew the smile. It was Jesus. "Hello, friend," said Jesus. Jesus was really alive. The women hugged his feet and shouted with joy, "Go and tell the others the good news that I am alive." Jesus said, "I will meet them in Galilee, and I can't wait to see them all again." The women had another job to do. They had to tell everyone that Jesus was alive. So there they are bumping into Jesus after he was resurrected from the dead, and they celebrated his new life. So this story is all about the women visiting Jesus' tomb, and they come to it and the tomb is empty. So when we started our cooking, we put a marshmallow inside the middle of our biscuits. Now I wonder what's going to happen when these biscuits are done baking and have had a chance to cool and we cut inside. Will the marshmallow still be in there? You'll have to look and see for yourself. In the meantime, I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow morning for Tuesday Morning Chapel. Have a great day. Amen.